I don't really know what her favorite time was. You can. We'll have Bonnie on for the
I'll
next.
get her down here tomorrow.
Yes, let's get her down here, and we'll make her do the next episode and get her side of the Vegas experience.
Oh.
How was Vegas? How was the draft?
Draft was awesome. Being there, the experience, some of the stuff we've seen before for bowls.
What about with your kids? How was it taking your kids? How did you gamble with your kids?
We took turns.
There was no turning here. I would wake up in the middle of the morning, East Coast time, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and go downstairs and put $100 in and get my fix, and then go back upstairs and go to bed. She, on the other hand, we just sat in the room and played Nintendo Switch. And
I was there for that. And you had to have your midday nap, so.
I always have to have a midday nap.
I know.
Did you understand what was like going on in the draft? Like, because I'd imagine most women that go to the draft like wouldn't understand.
She's going to kill you.
Like,
Well, no, I mean, like sometimes I think like people trade versus instead of a pick and all that kind of stuff. I'm expecting somebody to pick, and instead they trade their pick for a player and give up their pick to somebody else.
Yeah. So,
Fuck you, Kelton.
hey,
I told you she's going to murder you. So tell us the highlights. What all happened? What was the good parts? How was Mandalay Bay?
Mandalay Bay for me was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Recreated a picture from 8 years. Yeah, 8 years ago.
what is Mandalay Bay?
Mandalay Bay is a huge casino at the end of the strip for you young pups who've never been to Vegas.
We went to Shark Reef. The kids thought that was cool. Being able to touch the stingrays, I think they liked that.
Yeah, that dude was really awesome. That guy that worked there was really awesome. But you know who was not very awesome? The guy who was making the green screen photos.
I think his name was Charlie.
He said his name was Charlie. There's no way in hell his name was Charlie.
Oh, Charlie thought you were trying to take a picture of his shitty ass pictures, and instead trying to send an email because we still work while on vacation.
Thursday afternoon, I'm a realtor, and it's the busiest part of the season. I've got 20 agents asking me questions at home, and I'm just pounding out emails while my kids are staring at pictures they know I'm not going to buy because they're terrible, and we don't put them up. So why are you going to spend $20 on these pictures? But no, this guy said, no taking pictures of my pictures. It says right there on the sign. And then he
said, the camera's on the back of your phone. And I said, the camera's on the back of everybody's phone. Because Dustin's holding it up to send his emails. And he was like, the camera's on the back of your phone. And Dustin was like, I'm not taking a fucking picture of your pictures. I'm trying to work.
And then he said, fuck you. And I said, fuck you too. I want to talk to your manager. And it was awesome. So while I was sending a scathing email, my wife's eagle gold digger eyes saw Trevor Lawrence in the high roller room while we walked through there. She's not a gold digger, but I still don't understand how she saw him from it's literally a good 50 yards away. So anybody who wants to go hunting, you might want to take my wife with you because she'd be like, there's a 12-pointer way out there in the woods right there for you. Yeah.
It was the hair.
Yeah.
I saw that hair from a mile away.
There was a dude wearing a Trevor Lawrence jersey right in front of him. And
I never saw that person.
Mm-hmm.
So Dustin, I see him and I tell him, get off your phone and look at Trevor Lawrence. And he's trying to look and he's like, where? The security guy was like, can I help you, sir? And Dustin was like, no, my wife just thought she saw Trevor Lawrence. And he said, that's because she did.
Yes. And so I asked for a picture, and he stopped gambling to take a picture with my kids, which I thought was quite awesome, especially being from the area, which he didn't know at the time. So back to the other highlights of your trip. How was the end of your trip? How did the last night go for you?
The way home, the journey home. Well, we made it home.
No.
You were still breathing.
Let's go back
shallowly.
to before that. I'm supposing 6 hours before is what I'm told, but I don't really remember 6 hours before.
I took the kids to get ice cream in the same hotel. And I come back, not gone 30 minutes, and Dustin went from 0 to fit chased, speaking Spanish, talking about my big boobies.
Grande chichis with mi amigo, Jorge.
I see him, again, because I can eagle eye.
He actually was a Mexican construction worker. We talked for a while and exchanged tickets.
Yeah. So I see Dustin and I make my way over to him and he's like, you need to come meet my friend. And we get over there and all of a sudden he starts speaking Spanish. I'm like, what the fuck are you saying? And then he tells me, talking about big boobies. And so
Am I wrong?
we start to head back. Lord help. And then I left him in that hotel to make his way back to our
She
hotel.
left me because I got a feeling. Even though
Yeah.
I'm now speaking Spanish.
Yeah. Well,
I had-
he got two feelings because he got one. And he was like, hold on. He stuck his stick in there and he's like, tells me what number to put on. He's like, okay, now you pick your numbers. And we went on one of my numbers. Perfect. Gets his ticket. We start walking again. Oh, he got another feeling. That's where I left him.
Yep. So then she decided to document my walk across the bridge from MGM to New York, which I still don't understand that part of it, but I wasn't there.
Well, you had on a neon shirt, so you were really easy to see.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How did the rest of the trip go for you?
There was one grown up on that trip, and that grown up was me.
Yeah.
One responsible party.
I do not remember at all leaving the hotel, getting in the car, going through TSA.
You kept telling me, just give me a couple minutes. Just give me a couple minutes.
And I did.
That's what we all say.
Yes.
Yes. And so a couple minutes led to me puking.
Yes. We got to the car, and
Oh, I puked at the car?
No, you
Oh.
puked before the car.
Oh, I didn't know I puked
Yeah.
anything other than...
Nope. You sat there and said, let me take a shit. Let me just take a shit. And then you're in there and you
When in
said,
doubt, just shit it out.
do I pull the trigger? Do I just pull the trigger? If you want me to, I will.
I'm remembering now. I'm remembering that. I remember that part now.
Yep.
All right.
This is where
And
he
you said
makes
it.
up.
Yep.
If
it's
you
coming
want
back,
me,
folks.
if you want me to, I will. You just tell me what to
Yep,
do.
sure did.
Yeah.
So, put it right down the throat and
Yeah.
didn't help any folks. It did
didn't.
not help at all.
Nope. We get to the car. He just climbs in. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pack around y'all. I'm going to load up the car around you guys.
It's probably a good thing I was already pissed off about the car, but anyways. So, yeah, so walked through TSA all by myself. And
Yeah. The TSA lady said, ma'am, is that your husband? And I said, yeah. And she said, do you want him to help you like get all these things on the belt to run through the security thing? I said, no, I do not. And the face she made, she just left it at that.
I do remember this part. I got on the airplane and sat down with my boys. She did say that I tried to...
He tried to get on, like, when they first opened it, you know, when they call for, like, first class and all this other stuff. Well, they call for the people needing special assistance or needing extra time. And he said, oh, that's me, and took off walking. Like he was going through the doorway past this lady. I'm thinking, this motherfucker's fixing to get tackled right here in the airport. He was already passed out on the floor in front of some sports team from NC State who I'm pretty sure...
Go, Pack, go.
knew what was up, like just kind of kept looking at him.
Hey,
like,
if we have whoever that was on our airplane, we want to know what you thought about it.
right? Yeah. So we had to wait. Got on there. He, of course, had to have the window seat. He was like, I got to.
I had to lean up against something.
Yeah, he had to lean against the window. So he
And-
gets his vomit bag out ASAP.
And then I puked during the middle of the seatbelt conversation because nobody cares about
yeah,
seatbelts.
you puked before then.
Oh,
Yeah. And so, and it had this smell to it that I was like, oh my God, people are going to know. And he tried to hand me this bag of vomit. And because he can't close it, because he just
because it's
can't
not a
function.
Ziploc bag. Every vomit bag should be.
I'm pretty
I do
sure-
not understand why vomit bags don't have a Ziploc thing across the top. Please, somebody explain to me that.
I'm pretty sure you couldn't have handled a Ziploc at that very
It didn't
moment. in
matter.
time.
I couldn't handle a flap over the top, but maybe somebody else could seal it up and it wouldn't smell so bad.
Right.
Like, who wants to smell a vomit vomit bag?
So
Ziploc it.
he tries to hand it to
We're
me.
millionaires.
And it's like a couple drips onto Hayden's blanket. It was what we used to call it. My mom makes the gorilla face, in which I'm gritting my teeth and I'm like, your vomit is dripping. You take that back over there right now.
Give us
That was the grill face.
He was like, I'm literally like clenching my teeth as I'm telling him to keep his vomit bag over there.
She's got really bad RBF. You can't tell the difference.
That's also
But-
true. Yeah. So then the flight attendant lady, we're taxiing, we're backing up, And she comes up to me and she says, "Ma'am, are you all traveling together?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "Is he feeling okay? When he got on the plane, I noticed he looked like he didn't feel well." And I said, "Oh, yeah, Vegas just got to him." And she said, "Well, if he needs medical attention, it's better that we do it now because, there's not a doctor in flight, blah, 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 blah." I said, "No, ma'am, he'll be fine." "Are you sure?" "Yeah, he'll be fine." Yeah.
I'll tell you this. She checked the bags so she wouldn't have to load them up top. Getting off the airplane in RDU was the longest 2 hours, 85 hours, I'm not real sure, of my life sitting there waiting for those bags to get through the baggage carousel.
Yeah.
I am not a professional anymore. It took me 2 days to get over that hangover. I literally laid in the bed the whole day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got back and I said, "I need you to take that shirt off before you pass out."
So sadly, that is in the top 3 of hangovers and drunkest I've ever been. So maybe we'll get to the other 2 later in life.
I don't know why you're looking at me.
I know. I'm just thinking.
She's waiting for you to be able to go with me to Vegas. And then
I'm
it's
not
gonna be
going on that trip.
like Donkey Kong. If you don't go, we're going to jail. I just thrown that out there. That's whatever. We don't care. All right. That is my wife's review of the last 24 hours in Vegas with Dustin. Try to fight Charlie from the Cashman photo thing in Mandalay Bay. Met a Mexican man in MGM. Got roofied at some point, supposedly. And then forgot everything else until I started puking in the airplane. Glad to have our special guest, Miss Bonnie Owens.
Woo.
So the glue of Mantle and the glue of Krispy and Kreme over here. So, well, that's all we got for you today. So, see you next time.